So the Court of Appeal I'll give you just bullet points for our next interview. The Court of Appeal had sided with the Waitangi Tribunal over its decision to subpoena Children's Minister Karen Chhour. The case went to the Court of Appeal after the High Court overturned the tribunal's summons. The tribunal, Waitangi, wanted to hear the minister's reasoning for removing, they say, were treaty provisions from the Oranga Tamariki Act. Now, in the end, it didn't matter, as the legislation is now in the House. So the tribunal's jurisdiction has come to an end. So joining me is the Children's Minister, Karen Chhour. Karen, lovely to talk to you this evening.
Yeah, evening. How are you going?
I am good. Now, I'm sure you will be relieved with this, and I know we can't talk about the case or the Waitangi Tribunal, but let's talk about what you can do now, what you are doing, and that is removing Section 7AA from the Oranga Tamariki Act. Now, Karen, can you explain for our listeners what that is?
It's removing a provision from the Oranga Tamariki Act, which puts an obligation on the Chief Executive around abiding by the Treaty of Waitangi in decision-making when it comes to the care of our young people. This is a concern to me because I've seen terrible decision-making going on in my community from a personal angle, but also from a media angle. You may remember stories about baby Moana, who was removed from a really loving home because the caregivers were Pākehā and then placed in with a Māori family. And recently you may have seen the newsroom article around four Māori children being removed from a Pākehā couple and placed in a Māori home, just for the simple reason that they were Pākehā. There was no other reason. And that's actually not good enough. That's traumatising for the young people who have got a connection with these caregivers, have been removed from quite traumatic homes and finally getting some stability in their lives, and then that's taken away from them. Pure idealistic reasons and not reasons for safety.
Okay, right, well explained. So this particular section, as you're saying, you've just pointed out, in every case then when it was in there, the obligation, as you said, for Oranga Tamariki, they had to look at the colour of the skin over what you would say is actually looking after the child. What's best for the child?
Yeah, and I mean, I have no issue with looking to whānau, hapu and iwi as a solution, but safety has to come first. And if a young person is placed in a safe, loving home and has been there for a long time, and it is a forever home, that's what these caregivers have been told, it's a forever home, to then uplift them and re-traumatise them all over again is not good enough, in my opinion. I mean, and also we're seeing the statistics that just don't make sense. And we've seen the previous government's chair on the sidelines saying, look, we've got less Māori in care, a dramatic drop of Māori in care. But if you look at the statistics from the Ministry of Justice and the police, harm has gone up. I mean, the number of children under 15 being victims of violent crime grew 41% in the 5 years to 2023. And yet the reports of concern have dropped and the amount of children in care have dropped. Ministry of Justice, 23% of a quarter of New Zealanders experience sexual assault or behaviour like that. And 26% are women, 11% are men under the age of 15 are experiencing this, yet we have less kids in care. I mean, I don't want children in care, but I also don't want to have some idealistic piece of legislation stopping us from making the right decisions for our young people. They should be safe.